This is my Prusa 3D printer. I've had it for about 7 months now, and it's pretty reliable. I use it all the time, and often I do prints that last for 20 hours, as much as 20 hours or even more. And that requires that I'm either asleep during that period or maybe away from the house having dinner. And it's a little bit worrisome that we have this printer here with a heated bed, a heated extruder, both drawing significant amounts of current, running while nobody's home or while we're asleep. I noticed on the internet there's some groups and people have talked about ways to maybe automatically shut off a printer that's caught on fire. And it does happen. If you look out on the internet, there's pictures where people have burned a hole through their bed or the power supply is poofed. And so it'd be a good idea if we had some way to shut this off if there was something that went wrong. So one of the ideas was to use an Arduino with a little smoke detector and maybe a relay and some software to monitor that and then shut it off. And I was thinking, well, there's got to be a better way. So somebody did come up with a method to turn devices on and off based on a connector. This is a power control unit from digitalloggers.com. You can see right here. This is a nice little unit. It is like a power strip. You turn it on, but it's got a little input on the side here that will take, I think it's 3 to 24 volts DC, and I forget what the AC range is. But right now I'm using 3 volts to control this. Actually 5 volts and 3 volts. I have 2 different things coming in through a pair of diodes here that are in this shrink wrap. I'm not going to explain too much about how this works because I'm going to add a text to this posting explaining how this works and giving a schematic. But the cool thing about this is it takes 2 wall wart transformers, one 5 volts and one 5 volts or 3 volts to power the smoke detector, which I have up here. And this the smoke detector is one of the types that has an output that talks to other smoke detectors by raising a line, and that line is what is used to trigger this control power strip here. So what happens is during the normal operation, while we're sitting running here, this side's on and the 3D printer is plugged in here, and so is the smoke detector. And then over here, unpowered, is a 5 volt supply that comes back around through a diode. And if the smoke detector triggers this connection through one side of the diode, then this 5 volt transformer here keeps the power strip turned off. If you didn't do this and you just hooked up the smoke detector directly, as soon as the smoke cleared, then the power strip would come back on and you'd be back in a situation where the smoke was pouring out of your printer potentially. So we have a little fail-safe here that once this thing is triggered, this 5 volt transformer keeps it in the off condition. So we'll go ahead and light a little piece of paper on fire here. This is just a receipt that I'm using here. Okay, so we got that burning. We'll blow it out. And so you heard a little beep there. There goes all my ashes. And if you see that green light, what's happened here is this thing is triggered and the printer has stopped. So that's really a pretty simple way to create a safety device to turn your 3D printer off when there's smoke coming out of it. So what my plan is I'm testing this. I'm going to do it, run it maybe 10 times and make sure it shuts off each time. But what I'm going to do is I have my printer in a workbench area with a shelf above it. I'm going to mount the smoke detector underneath the shelf so it has the highest potential to have smoke going to it and turning the printer off. So with this thing in the off state here, you come home and you go, oh boy, my printer must have caught fire. You may not even be able to see what's gone wrong. And then you can go ahead and reset this by turning it off. That shuts the green light off. And then you turn it back on. And you hear a beep, and the thing is reset and ready to go again. So at this point, I'd make sure that you keep an eye on the printer and see what was actually smoking. Maybe check the power supply of the bed and the extruder and see if anything looks like it's got some char or heat damage on it.